We've got our new moon in Gemini. We've got Venus who moved into Leo. We've got Venus going retrograde. And we have this really interesting meetup of Mars, Venus, and the moon in opposition to Saturn later this week. My friend, this is your Sidereal Astrology forecast for the week of July 17th through the 23rd. I was at this event the other day, networking event that I go to here locally on Thursday mornings, and I was writing notes as I do, and I was writing at the top six. I just kept writing six, and one of my friends was like, "It's seven, dear." I don't know why I'm stuck in June, but it is July, my friend. Hello and welcome to our Sidereal Astrology forecast for this week of July 17th. My name is Danie, your spiritual healer, helping you find clarity, find peace, find joy, find love in this beautiful experience called life. One of my favorite things to do is to help spiritual women business leaders align with their authentic self, with their authentic leader, to clear away the past, to heal the present and the future. Because my friend, you have a mission, you have a goal, you have a desire, you have a dream, and I'm here to help you fulfill that. All right, so we are talking about this beautiful energy this week. We kick it off with our new moon in Gemini. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and let's get started. My friend, if you have been experiencing this push and pull of the future and the present, where the future is really full, like it's really calling you. It is really like there's like this a little bit of pressure, but this also excitement and joy about what is possible, right? What the opportunities that are present. If you've been feeling that, but this desire to stay still, this desire to have the stability, this desire to stay where you are right now. This is a lot of what this new moon is really bringing forward. So we are actually here at the beginning, at the top of the week. So let me go ahead and fast forward this to, I think it was 1:32 p.m. here in Austin. There we go. Okay. So this is our new moon chart for this new moon in Gemini. So as you can see here in Sidereal Astrology, we are at the very end of Gemini. We have not quite moved into Cancer at the time of this new moon. Now, later on Monday, we will be moving into Cancer energy, but at this moment, as we are in this new moon energy, we are at the very end. We're at 29 degrees. And if you can see, we're at down here at 52, which that goes up to 60. So you can see we're at the very edge of the edge. And so it's like we're holding on to that Gemini energy. So if we pair this back and we just kind of look at what the new moon is interacting with, who the new moon is hanging out with. So this is like the sun and the moon, they get together and they're having a party, and there's some people who are playing a special role at this party. And so we've got the sun and the moon really giving us this really social type energy, right? It's that communicative energy, it's that entertaining energy, that educational or edutainment, as I often hear, right? There's a lot of that energy. And we've got a couple of different things happening. So we've got this sextile to Uranus, which loves to bring pleasant surprises and stimulating encounters, just really wanting to spark things up and try something new, right? Giving us this really beautiful creativity, and making it kind of hard for us to stick to a routine. It's like we want, we're trying to stick to a new routine, we're trying to stick to this new thing, but it wants to shake things up. And so the really beautiful thing about that, this energy with this new moon, is that it really is asking us to try something different, right? If we are constantly, if we're feeling like we're in a rut, if we're feeling like we're stuck, if it's like we're getting to this like same old thing, Uranus really is here like, hey, let's do something different. Maybe turn right instead of left when you're going, when you're on your way to the grocery store, right? Or when you're on your way to work. Or maybe if you normally get out of the left side of the bed, get out of the right side of the bed. It's a different view. It's a different perspective, my friend. If you've ever done this, let me know. It is like, are you the person that always goes to the same, the same thing when you go to an event, or you go like to the, like, so I love to go to coffee shops. I love to go to the library. I have certain places that I like to go to, and I do my best. I'm going to say this. I do my best to go to different places, but it's like that routine. It's like that habit. Like I go and I want to sit in the same spot. I want to sit in the same chair. Even yesterday, I normally go to this one area of the library that I absolutely love to go to. It's like there's a big window and this really comfy chair and nice little table. And it's usually nobody's over there. It's great. Well, every single time that I've gone over there these past few weeks, there's people sitting there in this space. And it's like, you're sitting in my space, right? And so like I've been trying new spaces in the library, and it's given me a different perspective. It's given me a different feeling. That is by far my favorite place, but these other places aren't bad. Like I found this one space and I was like, oh, I really kind of, this is a nice space too, right? And had a really big comfy chair, like bigger than the other one that I sit in, and I could like put my feet up. It was great. Like I had this new experience, which gave me new energy, which allows me to think differently, especially when I'm working on something that could be a little bit more challenging, or something I've got to think through a little bit more, or even the sense of like the stuff I don't really want to do, that admin stuff that we don't like to do. Like I don't really like to do that stuff. And so it gave me this new energy around it. So trying something different, trying something new, this is really what it's calling, Uranus is really calling in. Now, we also have a couple of other things. We've got this square to Chiron and this trine to Neptune. So let's talk about that trine to Neptune really quick. This is really increasing our intuition, our sensitivity, our desire to help other people, right? And it's in Pisces, so it's really amplified right now. This is also, though, really putting our dreams and our goals at the forefront. And because we've had this square to the sun from our north node and our south node, which is where we're really feeling this push and pull idea of going after our dreams and going after our goals, and giving us, right, like the thing that we desire. Neptune's really here shining the light on that, really calling us to that, giving us that energy of like, hey, this is where we're going. This is the view. This is the dream. This is like, let's take the next step. Let's do the next thing. And, for some of us, this is a big step. For some of us, this is a huge step. And for some of us, it's a small step. All of those are perfect because it's where we are and it's what's in alignment with you. I am not somebody who takes super, super big risk. I do take risks, but not like super big risks. It's not my energy. It's not who I am. Where other people will take really, really big hits and they'll be fine. Like they're just shifting. It's like, whoa, they're a whole new person. That is not something who I am. But that doesn't mean that this one is better than that one. It just means that's what's in alignment with me. So I'll make my small, consistent shifts and I'll be fine, right? As long as I am moving forward, that is the goal. So think about that as you're thinking about the dreams and the goals and the things that you want and things that you're doing. Are you doing them different? Because this new moon is really saying, like, how are you doing things different? If you the old saying, if you want a different result, you got to do something different, right? If the whole insanity idea of you do keep doing the same thing, you're going to get the same result, right? So if you do something different, you'll get a different response. You'll get a different idea. You get a different thought, a different action, a different circumstance. So the last one I want to talk about here with this new moon is Pluto. Pluto is, he is very transformative energy. He's very big energy. He really shows us a lot about control, a lot about like letting go, and can be a little bit of the darker type energy, the lower vibrating energy of like manipulation and jealousy and control and power, right? But we can also see how power and control can also serve us in really great ways as well. And so there's this really beautiful play that we have with Pluto, where he helps us really kind of understand those things and where we need to pull in and where we need to pull back. And so he is here right now, kind of bringing things to light for us, really helping us question who we are and who we've been. Like, have we been the person who is achieving these goals and these dreams and this desire? Or have we kind of gotten comfy? Have we kind of just like rested on our laurels, so to speak? Or have we kind of moved things? Are we still growing? Do we need to shift who we are? Do we need to change our personal reality, our personality, in order to have the thing that we want? Well, if we're not having the thing that we want right now, then we absolutely need to make a change. And so Pluto's really here kind of showing that to us. Like, Uranus is like, hey, let's try something different. And Pluto is like, hey, is this who you are? Is this the person you want to be? Or is there a different way to be? And if that's so, then let's do that, right? So there could be some change that is forced upon us. There could be events that are out of our control, especially with this Uranus and this Pluto energy. And these things are moving us more towards our desires and our dreams. So what is in our heart, right, is being expressed. One of my clients this week, we had been working together probably for about a month now, and maybe a little bit longer. And she had a desire, like her heart's desire was to leave her current company and really start something. She's got a mission, she's got a message that she really wants to get out there. And, the job was kind of like her stability. And so she's, knowing that this job is here and it's going to help her, get the things that she does desire, although it's not really the best place for her. And she knows that, but her heart's desire was to be free of that. And so although there had been some, cutbacks and things that were happening at work, an opportunity opened up for her to step out. And it was so beautiful because it was a manifestation. It was what was truly within her heart, what she truly desired, has been manifested into her reality. And so now she's like, okay, what do I do now? Right? Like, she's got what she desires. Although in her head, she kept saying, like, but this job is stable and I have this going on, and this, I'm able, I have the funds and the security and all the things that job gave her. But her true heart's desire was to be free of it. And so it's really important for us to, when we're looking at what our dreams are and our goals are and our desire is what is truly in here, because that is what we are asking the universe. It doesn't matter what we may be thinking. It's actually what is within here. It is actually what's within our heart that is being expressed, that the universe, the God, the divine is bringing to us. And so make sure that whatever it is that you're thinking about, you're desiring, you're wanting, what is in here? What is that? Because that's where these changes could be happening. And, it might not feel good. Does it feel good to lose a job? Does it feel good to, get into a car accident? Like, please don't get into a car accident. Like, does it feel good to do anything? No, absolutely not. Does it feel good to, have an accident? It doesn't. And yet, a lot of the times, those things wake us up. Those things shake us and say, hello, what do you truly want? What are you truly, desiring? And I think for me, one of the things that has been coming up a lot for me is I'm tired of surviving and I'm ready to thrive. Like, I felt like there's been a lot of surviving ever since I went into, even before, I think, if I think about it, when I was still in corporate, before I went into the entrepreneurial space, is there was survival. It was like survival mode. I'm just surviving, and I'd get just above surviving, and then I'd be back in survival mode. And I feel like I've carried that over these past few years, as being an entrepreneur. And then now I'm like, you know what? I'm tired of just surviving. I don't want to just survive. I want to thrive. And so my perspective and my desires are shifting and changing, and I'm working on getting that all aligned so that I can thrive, so that I can truly thrive and no longer have to just survive just get by, just make it. So this is a really beautiful opportunity with this new moon to step into that, my friend. What is your heart's desire? So, as you set your intention for this cycle, think about that. Think about what it is that you desire. What are you stepping into? What's the next step? And maybe that is what your intention is. Maybe it's the next step in the thing, in the bigger scheme, right? Of what it is that you desire. All right, let's take a look at some other things that are happening in our sky this week, because we do have a couple of things that I just want to point out that, and I don't talk about all the different things that are happening. There's just sometimes there's a few things that I'm like, these are going to last a little bit, or these could be a little bit challenging, or we could use these energies. So the first one I want to talk about is Mercury here. And we're going to see Mercury. So Mercury has been, making this square with Jupiter for a while. It's actually coming to an end, which is great. And this has been a lot of optimism and growth, and it's been a lot of good communication. It's been a lot of good stuff here. And we have this entrance here of Chiron. So Chiron is our deepest wounds, it's the traumas, right? And so with a Mercury here, and this is going to be from Tuesday here, the July the 18th, all the way till the following Wednesday, so all the way to the 26th, so next week. This is an energy of like stepping up and being heard. This is our mess. I've heard this a lot of times, our mess being our message, the past wounds, the traumas, the things that are who we are, a part of our journey, becoming our story, becoming what we and an empowering story, not just the story of like, oh, this is what's happened to me, but an empowering movement, empowering story that we can share with other people to help them who may be in the same situation we were, or help them avoid maybe some things that maybe we have already been through. So I would say there's a lot of recognition coming through with this, especially for my entrepreneurs and those of you that are out there, right, that have a message, that have a mission, which is probably you if you're watching this. This is a really good time for you to gain some recognition, to gain some insight for your unique perspective, because your journey has, although it may be similar to other people, it is unique, right? And even in the way that you see it and that you perceive it is unique. And so there's a really good opportunity for you to, I would say, share your message over this next week. Share your story, share what your values are, what you believe in, what you've been through, because it can definitely help people who may need to hear your unique perspective and your unique, way of showing the experience and what you've learned, right? So I really love that for that. Now, the other thing is we're going to see a Mercury here get really what's called a conjunction to Venus. So we'll see this start to appear here on the 21st on Friday, but then it's gonna get closer and closer and closer. So as we get into Saturday and Sunday, we're going to see this conjunction here, and we're going to see this get even closer and tighter over this next following week. There's a couple of things in here. So first off, Mercury and Venus, there's a lot of really good, harmonious, pleasant communication, right? We think of the energy of Venus, this beauty, this love, this like, really creative type energy, really harmonious and pleasant and peaceful type energy. With Mercury, it's great. There's like really good communication. We're really in touch with what we love and wanting to bring people together, bring our people together, show our people love. And entering Cancer season, right? That's even amplified as we're coming into that. But also really good diplomacy skills, negotiating, like coming to a peaceful resolution. Really good time for that, as well as creativity and artistic endeavor. So this is a really beautiful time to get in touch with what you love, to get in touch with your love of self, as well as love of others. Now you can see here, Venus, she actually is, she moved into Leo on the, I believe it was the 9th of this month of July. So she moved into Leo. And so when Venus is in Leo, there is more it's like this feeling from speaking from the heart. It's very much of what I want and what I desire, the grand gestures of love we see here in our relationships or for our people, really generous and sharing adoration and love and appreciation for other people. It's like, you know, Leo loves to do big things. He loves to be very grand. And so our passions, our love is really a priority when Venus is in Leo. So there's also a lot of creative energy here. So my fellow artistic friends or artistic challenged friends, this energy of creativity is just really opening up for us with a lot of different things. And so my invitation to you was to play with that creative energy, to play with that, you know, and creative energy doesn't necessarily have to mean in like a craft or something that you're creating as far as like a, you know, I go back to like thinking of, you know, my days of crocheting. And I was talking to somebody the other day about like looming and what was it, the other one, the one with the hook, can't remember what it's called, but I was talking about those crafts I used to do as a kid, and I love crafts. I love making things, jewelry, beads. Like I loved doing that. And so there's like that type of creative energy, but there's also creative energy in the things that we're doing in our day to day, right? In our work. How do we get creative with the challenges that are coming forward to us? How do we, you know, in our relationships and in situations that we're working in, how do we get creative in there? How do we just get creative in our day in mixing things up and shaking things up instead of just the same old, same old, same old? I don't know about you, but I didn't come here to just do the same old, same old, same old. I came here to have fun. I came here to live. I came to enjoy and appreciate all that life gives me. And so, like, right, like let's use that energy. So Venus here is like, I really see this, like we want attention too. Venus and Leo, like it wants to be seen, it wants to be heard. It's like, I'm here and see me, know me. And so there could be some of that happening in our relationships where it's like our partners or our friends are just like wanting our attention, or maybe we're wanting their attention, right? And so that could come up a little bit in frustration if that is not being met or that is not being seen, right? So we can see there some of that even coming up. Now here on the 23rd, which is Sunday, we have Venus going into retrograde. So she's going to be in retrograde through September 4th. So Venus will be, she starts in Leo, she's going to move back into Cancer, and then she's going to come forward again after her retrograde period. So she's going to be back in Cancer. So there's just this little slit into Leo, and then she's going to move back into Cancer. She actually moves back into Cancer on August 6th, and then she'll continue going back through Cancer for a bit, all the way till September 4th, and then she'll start to come forward in Cancer, and then eventually get back into Leo. So when she's moving back in that space of her retrograde period, it's like, you know, it's a time for us to evaluate. I call every retrograde a season of redesigning, reevaluating, relooking, returning, right? It's this a time of introspection and seeing what is going on. And so the areas of love, the areas of relationships, the area of beauty, of money, those are all up for review right now. So over these next several weeks, this is a really beautiful time to like look at your money beliefs, your money relationships. Look at all of your relationships that you have in your life, not just your intimate partner, if you do have a partner, but also the other relationships that you would have in your life. Like, how are they serving you, right? We talked about that with the Saturn retrograde. It's like the communities and the things that you are in, like what's resonating with you right now based on where you're going, what is working, what is supporting you, what is encouraging, what is nurturing you, and giving you what you need in this season of life. It's the same thing with Venus. Venus is like, what do you need right now in your life? Again, my friend, crystal clear. Get really clear on what it is that you need, where it is that you're going, and what's going to get you there, so that we can use this energy to really do that. To look at, hey, this is, you know what, I need to learn these things in relationships, right? Or these things with money. Also love, like, how are we loving ourselves? How are we showing others that we love them, right? Or how are we doing that now? Cancer season and Venus moving back into Cancer is really going to bring a lot of that up for us over the next couple of weeks, but really looking at like falling in love with all the parts of you. Venus retrograde really is, for me, it's a returning to me. It's a returning of what I believe about myself and where I may be out of alignment with all the aspects of me, not just the ones that I like, but the ones that I'm challenged with, the aspects of me that maybe aren't you know, quite where I want them to be or what I would desire it to be. It's like getting back in touch with that and showing that aspect of me love and coming to terms with it or accepting it for where I am, and that this is only a moment in time. This is just part of the journey. So really, really beautiful time that we have through the end of this month, all the way through September, beginning of September. So the rest of this kind of summer kind of time. And then the last thing I want to talk about is we have this really, really nice connection happening with Venus, Mars, and the moon as well. Oops, I need to go back. I was going forward and I need to go back. Okay, there we go. So we've got this really interesting connection here with the sun. I'm sorry, with the moon, with Venus and Mars. So these guys will be conjunct through this period here of September. I'm sorry. Wow. Now I'm moving into September. It was from June to September, from July 21st. So we'll have that Mars in there just for that little bit of time here. We'll just have that interaction on the 20th. So that's on Thursday. And then Mars will move out and we'll just have that energy here with Venus and Saturn. So there is some delays here. There is some limitations. Whenever we have Saturn and fall off, it's definitely more of a, can be a little bit more of a like a dark cloud, as I often like to say. It could feel like things are getting delayed or things are limited or restricted. And again, you know, Saturn really is about helping us find our boundaries, helping us see our boundaries. And so those delays and those limitations show that to us. They show us our limitations. They show us our boundary of how far we're able to go or do something. This is a great time for some introspection, a great time to be alone, because there could be some frustration and anger that could be coming out. Arguments can come out where we're bringing out the worst in each other. So try to stay clear. Try to stay clear. We can also look at this too as looking at where are we responsible, because Saturn is a very responsible energy. So where are we responsible, especially in our area of relationships, because we're talking about Venus here. So what is our responsibility in money? What is our responsibility in relationships? What is our responsibility in our love life, right? What are, if there's challenges there, what is our responsibility, right? It's not about my partner, it's about me. It's about what I did, maybe, right? And we can look at that. And so there's a little bit of that coming up, and it's coming up through Thursday all the way till Sunday. So this weekend type energy. So just be aware of that some of these things could be coming up. You could be feeling a little bit more sad or down over this period as well. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so the other thing, let's get into there was one other thing. See, it's a good thing I checked my notes. The other thing I want to talk about is this Mars energy. So Mars is making this trine here to Jupiter. And so we do have it making this connection here with Saturn for this day here on Friday. But we're really going to talk about this energy right here that we see on Thursday. And we're going to see this over the next couple of weeks. So whenever Jupiter is involved, we generally see, especially with a sign or the sextile or a trine, instead of sign, a sextile or a trine, we do see a really positive engagement with whatever planet we're working with. And so with Mars and Jupiter, it's like, it's okay to take the risk. It's okay to take the jump. It's okay to initiate something, to act on your instincts. Because this transit in particular is a really good, like, supportive and helpful transit for success for whatever it is that you're designing. So if there's something that you're like wanting to take kind of a risk in, especially as it relates to, goals that you have, desires that you have, really good time from this period, which is July 18th, so Tuesday, all the way through August 12th. So there's a couple of weeks here that really get to act and initiate new things. So use that energy wisely, my friend. Use that energy wisely. Okay, let's talk. Our last thing here is about our moon. Let's talk about where our moon is going to be. And I talked a little bit about some of the things that it's interacting with. Now we're going to dive into what the zodiac signs that we've been moving through this week and how we can use that energy. So kicking off our week here, let's go back to Monday. As I said, we do kick off in Gemini, but we quickly move out of Gemini and we move into Cancer. So you'll see here by 1, I think it's 1 or 2 p.m. Yeah, 2 p.m. We move out of Gemini and into Cancer. So we'll be in Cancer from Tuesday. I'm sorry, yeah, from Tuesday all the way through, let me change this here, through Wednesday. And so when the moon is transiting through, and you'll see it's coming next to these guys here, right? So it's going to hit Mercury, which is, again, really good time, really good like time to communicate how we're feeling about different things. And then we also have it coming up against our Venus here, and it will come up against Mars. So it will be in Cancer through the first half or just a little bit of that Wednesday morning, and then the rest of the day will be in Leo. So we'll have Cancer from mid-afternoon or afternoon on Monday all the way through the early morning of Wednesday, and then we'll move into Leo. So in Gemini and in Cancer, it's really good time to nurture ourselves, nurture others, support others, really good creative, tuning into emotions, really good time to work with emotions during this period. Emotions may be a little bit higher than normal, especially as we're, connecting in with this energy here really nicely. But then we get to Mars in Leo, where things get a little bit more fiery, let's just say, because Mars is more of a fiery planet. It's a very it can be more aggressive. It can also, it's an action type energy. And with Leo, it's more of the grand gestures, the visibility, seeking attention or wanting attention. So pay attention from that period here from Wednesday through Saturday, where we're in this Leo energy of, wanting to, have, our desires met, have our wishes met, seeking that attention from maybe our partner or people in our lives. So we'll see some of that coming through. Great time to take action, though. Great time to start something. Leo, fire energies are generally a really good time to start things or to move things or to get into action. I would recommend those few days in there to move the emotion, to move the energy, especially if you're getting frustrated or angry or upset. Go for a walk, get on that bike, go dance it out, whatever it is that you need to do, but move that energy. And then we come into our weekend here on Saturday. We'll be in Leo for just a bit, just about the first part of the day, and then we'll move into our Virgo energy through late Saturday into all day Sunday. We'll kick off our week in Virgo next week. So we've got Virgo is really focusing on our health, really focusing on our daily routines, like our rituals. What is it that we're doing? Getting things organized, reorganizing things, work that involves details. So if it's like there's some admin work that you need to do there, really need to look at that Excel spreadsheet, right? Or you really need to get into the details of things. Virgo moons are one of the best times to do that. So I would recommend this like later part of the week if you want to do some of that stuff. Late Saturday and Sunday is a great time to do that into Monday. The other Leo is all about like, let's have some fun. Let's do some things together. Let's get out there. Let's be seen. And Cancer is really about taking care of ourselves, slowing down and nurturing ourselves so that we have the energy for the rest of the week. All right, my friend, that is your sidereal astrology forecast for the week of July 17th through the 23rd. If you want more information about Cancer season, first off, subscribe to the channel because there will be some videos coming out over these next couple of weeks about Cancer season and how to work with that energy, my favorite essential oils and my favorite crystals to work with during the season. We also have our monthly zodiacal season guidebook that talks all about this current season. I will be sending that out to everyone. If you're on my email list, it will be sent out today with all the things you'll want to know about Cancer season. And so in there, it does have all about Cancer energy, about the season. It has weekly journal prompts that you can use to work with this energy, as well as the essential oils and crystals. So if you want to know what those are already, feel free to get that guidebook. It'll be down in the description box. And we also have some really great things coming up. I'll be going to be launching a couple of things coming up in this next month, some programs and some opportunities to work with this energy even more. So if that is something that you are interested, stay tuned for that because I'll be talking more and more about that. If you are a friend of Instagram, if you like Instagram, I am definitely one of my favorite platforms. I'm over there. You can come hang out with me. Danie Simonish, you'll see the link down below. All right, my friend, that wraps us up. Remember, close your eyes and take a deep breath with me. And find peace. Bye.